Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Now today I'm going to be making some cookies. I saw a recipe on a blog by a lady called Heather Baird, and I'll put a link to that blog and the recipe on my blog. And this was for some cookies that looked like owls. And she was using these as little gifts that she put in a bag after people had been round over the Christmas holidays, and they took one away with them as they left. But I liked the look of them, and I thought I'm sure children would love to make those, so I thought I would give it a go and see what you think. So for the recipe we have 227 grams of butter. I've converted the recipe, I should say, from cup measurements. 227 grams of softened butter, 225 grams of sugar, which I'm going to put into the butter in my stand mixer. I have 385 grams of plain flour, 1 medium egg, that would be large in the USA. I have a teaspoon of vanilla extract and half a teaspoon of almond extract. I have some cocoa powder, that's just for dusting, as you'll see later. And then I have 20 whole almonds with the skins on. I have 30 almonds which I have quartered. You could use slivered almonds if you can buy them. In the UK we can only get shaved almonds, which are not quite the same thing. So I've quartered those, and I have 20 chocolate chips. Now the first thing we're going to do is to just mix the butter and sugar until it's combined. We don't need to over mix it. And we'll give the bowl a scrape as we go and lift up the sugar that's on the bottom. And the reason for not over mixing is that we don't want the cookies to spread once they're baking, otherwise they'll lose the shape of the owl. So it's just mix it until it's combined. And then I'm going to add the egg, and the vanilla extract and the almond extract, and mix it again. Scraping down the sides again. Okay, and then I'm going to put in the 385 grams of plain flour, and I'm simply going to mix this on slow until it's combined. And it should start to clump together. We'll knock the butter off the paddle so that it gets incorporated properly. Just pick up that loose bit. And that's it. As you can see, it's come together. So I'm going to take some parchment paper I'm going to bring the dough out onto the parchment paper. Like that. I'm going to take about that much. That may be half a cup, and I can tell you in weight. So I've taken 150 by the time, if I do this, 150 grams of the dough, and I'm going to set that aside, and for the remainder I'm going to form that into an oblong like that. And then I'm going to put some more parchment paper on top, and I'm just going to roll that out flatter. And then we're going to chill it in the fridge for an hour before we move on to the next step. And I'm going to refrigerate that now for an hour, so that can firm up, and I may roll it out just a little bit thinner later. I want it to be just over 1/4 of an inch in thickness. So one, that's almost the right size actually. So I'm going to put it in the fridge and chill it for an hour, and then when I come back I'm going to roll it out again just a little bit thinner, so that I can get 20 cookies which are 3 inches in diameter, like that. And while that's in the fridge, I'm going to take this remaining piece of dough and I'm going to divide that into 40 pieces and roll them into balls. They're going to form the eyes of the owls. So I'll be back with you in an hour's time when the pastry dough has chilled. Okay, so I've chilled our pastry, and I've actually changed the parchment paper, so I have a larger piece of parchment paper, and I'm going to roll this a little bit thinner. I want it until it's about maybe just a little bit thicker than 1/4 of an inch. remove the parchment paper, and then I'm going to cut out my shapes. And put them onto a baking tray. Okay, so I've rolled the pastry out, and I have some of it chilling again while I'm working on these ones. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to make the owls. And the first thing I'm going to do is to take two of the balls which I've rolled out to be the eyes, and I'm going to place them like that onto the cookie, and I'm going to take a chocolate chip for each eye, and I'm going to press it down, pointed side down into the eye. Like that. And then I'm going to take one of the whole almonds and I'm going to press that as well to make the beak, like that. Then I'm going to take the cookie cutter and I'm going to make the wings. I'm going to press down on the cookie cutter, but I don't want to go all the way through. I'm going to do this one again and see if I can just join that bit back up. And then I'm going to take just something reasonably blunt and just make a crisscross pattern in each of the wings, like that. Smooth that out because I've done that too much there. Then I'm going to take 6 pieces of almond and I'm going to push them in like that to be the feet. And then I'm just going to take a bit of bit of cocoa powder and brush it onto the wings, give a little bit of definition to the wings. Just like that. Okay, so I'm back with you now, and I've formed the cookies, as you can see, into the owl shapes, and I'm going to bake them in the oven in batches, and the oven is preheated at 180 Celsius, 160 Celsius with a fan, 350 Fahrenheit, and I'm going to cook them for 15 to 20 minutes, and when the almond feet begin to turn a golden colour, they should be done. I take them out, cool them for 5 minutes on the tray, and then put them on a wire rack to cool down completely. Then I'll be back to show you the results. Okay, so I'm back with you, and I've baked our cookies and I've got them cooling down. The first batch are just about cool now, and as you can see, they look quite good. And I baked them for 17 or 18 minutes. I could have taken them out after 15 minutes, I think. But they look reasonably good, and I'll have a little taste. I'll bite the foot off. Nice and crunchy. Lovely buttery cookie with the almonds as well. They do taste good. And I said at the beginning that Heather Baird said that she gave them as gifts. She put them in plastic bags, but it was at Thanksgiving rather than at Christmas, after Thanksgiving dinner. But that is quite a good idea. You can put them in a little cellophane bag and let people to take them away with them. But I mean, I'm quite pleased with how they've turned out. So that's going to be it for this recipe. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's quite simple to make, a bit time consuming, but quite simple to make. So give it a try. If you've enjoyed the recipe, please give me the thumbs up below the video and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen, there'll be a link that you can use to get to the recipe. There'll also be a link below the video that you can use to get to the recipe if you want to. And I will be back with you with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.